What if I told you the IRS quietly changed a rule that decides when you're forced to withdraw money from your retirement account? And getting this wrong could trigger taxes, penalties, and even higher Medicare premiums. This isn't a theory. It's happening right now to retirees who are still following the old age 72 rule. The law changed, but millions of people never got the update. Here's the real number you need to know today. The RMD age is now 73, and for some people it will move to 75. If you don't know which one applies to you, you could take money out too early and pay unnecessary taxes, or take it too late and face an IRS penalty. Let's break this down simply. For years, retirees were told that required minimum distributions started at age 72. That is no longer true for many Americans. Under the Secure 2.0 law, if you were born in 1951 or later, your RMD age is 73. If you were born in 1959 or later, your RMD age will be 75. That one change gives your retirement money more time to grow tax-deferred, but only if you follow the correct schedule. Here's where people are losing money. Some retirees who turned 72 recently started withdrawals because they thought they had to. They didn't. That means they created taxable income earlier than necessary. On the flip side, others who actually needed to take an RMD didn't realize the rule applied to them, and they risked a penalty. And yes, there is still a penalty. It used to be 50% of the amount you should have withdrawn. Now it's been reduced to 25%, and in some cases 10% if you fix the mistake quickly. That's an improvement, but it's still one of the most expensive tax mistakes a retiree can make. Now let's talk about the hidden tax chain reaction that almost nobody explains. When your RMD starts, every dollar you withdraw from a traditional IRA or 401k counts as taxable income. That extra income can do three things at once. It can push more of your Social Security into the taxable range. It can move you into a higher tax bracket, and it can increase your Medicare premiums through IRMA. So one required withdrawal can increase your taxes and your healthcare costs in the same year. That's why timing matters. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine a retiree named John, age 73, with a $500,000 traditional IRA. His required distribution might be around $18,000 for the year. That $18,000 gets added on top of his Social Security and any other income. Suddenly, more of his Social Security becomes taxable, and his Medicare premium goes up 2 years later because of the higher reported income. He didn't do anything wrong. He just didn't plan for the domino effect. This is why the years before your RMD starts are so valuable. If your income is temporarily lower in your late 60s or early 70s, that window may be the perfect time to consider a Roth conversion. That means moving a portion of your traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, paying taxes at today's rate, and reducing the size of your future RMDs. Smaller RMDs later can mean lower taxes and lower Medicare premiums. This isn't for everyone, but it's one of the most powerful legal strategies available under the current rules. There's another important update for people who are still working. If you are employed and contributing to your current employer's 401k, you may be able to delay RMDs from that specific account until you retire. That does not apply to old 401ks or traditional IRAs, but for active workers, it can be a major advantage. And if you're between ages 60 and 63 and still contributing to a workplace plan, the law now allows higher catch-up contributions during those years. That's a short window to boost your retirement savings and potentially lower your taxable income. So what should you do right now? First, confirm your correct RMD age based on your birth year. Do not rely on old paperwork. Second, estimate how large your first RMD will be and how it will affect your taxes, your Social Security taxation, and your Medicare premiums. Third, look at the years before your RMD begins and ask whether a partial Roth conversion could reduce your future tax burden. Fourth, if you're still working, check whether you qualify to delay RMDs from your current 401k. And finally, set a yearly reminder to review your withdrawal strategy. Tax rules change, account balances change, and a small adjustment can save thousands of dollars over time. The key takeaway is simple. The RMD age changed, the penalty rules changed, and the planning opportunities changed. But the IRS does not notify you with a personalized strategy. You have to know the rule and act on it. If you get this right, you keep more of your retirement money, reduce surprise taxes, and avoid higher Medicare costs. If you ignore it, the system runs on autopilot, and autopilot is expensive. If this helped you understand a rule that most retirees still don't know about, make sure you subscribe for weekly updates where we break down IRS and retirement changes in plain English. And share this with someone who is turning 72 or 73 this year, because that's exactly where costly mistakes happen. Stay informed, plan ahead, and make your retirement money work for you, not for unnecessary taxes. While those larger policy debates move slowly, there are smaller steps that can make a meaningful difference right now. Reviewing Medicare coverage each year is one of the most practical actions a beneficiary can take. Plans change, formularies change, premiums shift, and many people find that they can reduce their out-of-pocket costs by switching to a plan that better matches their current medical needs. Even saving $50 to $100 per month can have a significant impact when living on a fixed income. There are also programs such as Medicare savings programs and extra help for prescription drug costs that are specifically designed for individuals whose income falls near or below the federal poverty level. Because eligibility for these programs is tied to income thresholds, understanding where your monthly benefit stands in relation to that $1,930 figure can open the door to additional support that many people do not realize they qualify for. If you are currently living on less than that amount each month, it is important to hear this clearly. You are not alone, and your situation is not the result of personal failure. Millions of people are facing the same gap between their benefits and the cost of living. Social Security was originally designed to provide a foundation of income, not to fully replace earnings, but over time it has become the primary source of support for many retirees and disabled individuals. When that foundation sits below the poverty threshold, the financial pressure becomes very real. Looking ahead, conversations about strengthening Social Security are ongoing. Policymakers continue to debate funding changes, benefit formula adjustments, and the possibility of establishing a minimum benefit tied to poverty guidelines. Any meaningful reform will require legislative action and careful negotiation, so changes are unlikely to happen overnight. But awareness of the issue is growing, and public understanding often plays a role in shaping future policy decisions. In the meantime, staying informed remains one of the most powerful tools available. Understanding how your benefit is calculated, keeping track of cost of living adjustments, reviewing health coverage annually, and exploring assistance programs can help protect your financial stability while broader reforms are being discussed. At its core, the $1,330 monthly poverty threshold is more than just a statistic. It represents a line between financial security and financial hardship. For millions of seniors and disabled Americans, that line feels very close, sometimes uncomfortably close. Whether future reforms will tie Social Security benefits directly to that line is still uncertain, but the growing attention to the issue suggests that it will remain part of the national conversation. If you are feeling the strain of rising costs, your concerns are valid. If you are worried about whether your income is enough, you are not alone in that worry. Your years of work mattered, your contributions mattered, and your financial dignity matters. Staying informed, reviewing your options, and making use of every legitimate program available can help you navigate this challenging landscape while we all watch for potential changes ahead.